You're listening to Support Creative Souls podcast, highlighting and supporting inspiring creatives, plus a few shoe stories to help kick up your innovative journey. Hosted by me, Stephanie V.
Oh my gosh, guys, welcome to Support Creative Souls. We are here in Houston at Mod Chic Boutique with the beautiful, the talented, my sister friend, Africa Miranda.
Hey guys, I'm back with my boo, Stephanie. I'm so excited.
She has been with us for On the Mic with Stephanie, but this is new. She's doing great things. We're here. We're excited to share it with you, and that is the reason why we're here and why she is here in Houston.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about why you're here.
I am here for Step Up, Step Out, and Shine. Exactly. As you all know, I love this woman so much, and she's so amazing, and she is the embodiment of what, I really talk so much about in the book, is about taking ownership of your life, and when you have these dreams and these goals, like working towards them and making them happen. And we're here because
I mean, this is just a different experience with Africa because I actually reading this book, and I want to say that I did get a dedication in the book. When I read it, I was like, I told John, I was like, I got a dedication. I mean,
from my friends.
Like that's just, that you've actually helped a person through their journey, and you know their journey, and reading it was just like such a personal experience for me. It was like, I'm like, Africa's like my sister, so it was just like, I remember that girl. Yes, I remember that person, and I remember when you had a hard time for them, and thank God you left him, and let's keep going. Yes, I know it's not, and yes, give up your past. So I was just like, I felt like I've through the book, and I haven't even finished the book, but I know that where I am now, like I've been with you. I've been by your side.
You have been through every step that is taken to
this is like not only an accomplishment for her, but it is for like her friends, her family.
It's our story together.
And we've all been so proud of you.
Thank you.
And this has been such an exciting journey just to see, this is Houston, which is your what stop on your book tour?
The 5th I'm doing 6 cities on my book tour. Houston is stop number 5. Each city has been different and amazing, and has its own, because each city has its own flavor.
Right.
And each stop, the conversations have taken different turns, and people have shared so much. And I know Houston tonight is going to be no different.
Yes, we're so excited. I'm so happy that she came to my hometown as well, because we've got to also, she was on the CW this morning.
We've had a whole day.
And just being able to talk about her book and all the accomplishments and just the exciting parts about writing the book.
I know. It's one of those things where I'm very proud of myself, and I'm even like,
I'm like holding it.
Exactly.
Sorry.
My baby. But I'm getting used to even saying the words that I'm really proud of myself, because this is something that I've wanted to do, but I didn't think that I was at a stage in my life where I had, something of importance to share.
Right.
But as I was writing it, and as it was coming together, and even now with people giving their feedback, I'm so thankful that I did it. One, not just for for me and for the journey that has taken me on personally, but the fact that when people tell me that it's helped them, or it's helping them, push toward their goals, or things that they left behind that they're now going to revisit and do for their lives.
And let me tell you, that was a difficult part of Africa's journey, is actually just being proud of where she already has gotten. For us, it was when we started doing music and our journey to be these stars and this and that, and like, you're right, you never take a step back and be like, oh my God, just because I didn't get here or there doesn't mean that I haven't done
anything.
Which she talks about in her book about, like checking yourself and saying, hey, you have done a good job. You are doing it. You are successful. And we don't, as women, we don't do that enough. Right, which is what you said, and we've talked about it. We'll go on tangents about this and that, be like, hey, well, let's talk about that tonight. So I wanted to know, what would you tell a young person who wants to write a book? I have Follow My Feet, and it's about mentorship. It's about getting the young people to figure out what they're passionate about, and it took us in your journey a long time to really craft your passions.
Exactly.
You're passionate about so many different things.
And it's like, what is the thing that deserves the attention?
Exactly.
I would tell someone that's young, the great thing about, you know, being young, and especially like if you're someone that's in high school or college or just really starting out, is that you do have more freedom and more time to try a lot of different things, because this is where you should be figuring it out. This is a time to test yourself, and the things that you maybe dream about or write in your journals, or like your secret thoughts or things that you've always wanted to try. This is the time to try it. Like, don't be afraid to do it. To step because that's exactly, to step up and step out. Like, there's no perfect time, because you can't get to these great end results of where seeing Stephanie with the things that she's doing, or even seeing where I am, which is the result of years of work. But it's because we've tried things that have done well, things that haven't done well. But you can't get to, you can't.
More things that have done well.
Exactly. More things that have done well that have not. But you don't get to a success without having some failures, because you have to try. And I feel like, so many people always want to tell people that are young, like, go for the safe bet. Like, major in this because it's
have
safe.
A plan B.
Have a plan B.
And you should, I wouldn't say don't have a plan B, but know that your plan B is just a setup for your plan A.
And there you go. Exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with dreaming of something that's different from all of your friends, or even, being the first in your family to do something. Because a lot of times when you are someone that wants to live outside the box, there's nobody around that's doing it.
Right.
And it is hard.
It is. And I know that I've said that a lot. It's like, I've had my sisters and my mom to kind of pave the road for me, and a lot of young people don't have that, and they are afraid to take those first steps, especially getting into college. And Africa graduated from college too, and so it's like that was a first step for both of us, because that was extremely important.
It's like, okay, we did that. Exactly. Right.
We did that, but it was like, there was still, like you talk about, there's still more that I need to be doing. Like, I'm passionate, I'm creative, and there's still more. I always feel, and I don't know if it's every creative, like, there's just more that you can keep doing. Because sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. But hey, if you're successful and you know what it is and you can plan it. But that leads me to people that want to become an author. Because this was like, for me, production and executive producing the cooking show, that was just a whole nother chapter of a career that I never thought I'd get into. For you, writing a book was something that was like,
I tell people, it's like writing the longest research paper of your life.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think about them like, did I ever want to write? I hate writing.
I know, but what was interesting when I started, when my publisher, when we first met, she reached out to me, I was like, look, then I was like, okay, I'm like, sure. And then I was like, well, how do I get started?
Right.
And it was really helpful for her to make me realize that in many ways I had been writing this book for the last few years, and I didn't realize it. I went back to tweet threads. I went back to blog posts, to Instagram captions, to I went back to all the things I had saved in my notes, because a lot of us, everybody use their notes app. That's where I go if I just have thoughts or things that I think of. And I went back and I was like, oh my God, it wasn't, it was not the full book, but it was a framework. And from there, I was like, I had things to build on. I looked at old periscopes that I had done, and I talked about it, speeches.
So for people to get your outline, get your concept.
Exactly. You want to start with
your purpose.
Your purpose first, exactly. And just really look at what you want to say, because at the end of the day, you have to have a clear message. It can't be a book about everything. Like, there was a lot of things that I wanted to put in this book that still didn't make it, because you can't do everything. Right. I had to really edit it down.
So therefore, there will be a step-by-step action, part 2.
But that's what you learn in this process, how to edit your thoughts down, and then how to take these big grand ideas and make it really simple. Because the other part that was a challenge was when the edits started coming back, the editors don't know me. They're not my friends. They don't understand my thought process. So there was some stuff that I had written, and they were just like, well, what are you talking about? And I'm just like,
don't you remember back in 2009
exactly.
when I got off the subway?
No, they don't know. So it was also realizing that, part of the writing was putting it in a form that someone that had no knowledge of me and, had no, knowledge of my story could just take the information that was given and digest it in a way that would help them. So it was a lot.
And I think about what your feelings were, I know how my feelings were after I hear a song that I've just recorded and done and mixed and mastered, and I think, I listen to it in the car and I'm like, man, I'm so talented, this song is good. This is Grammy award-winning song right here. So how did you feel when when they were like, here's your book? it's done.
It's hard because, and I know you know this as a creative, sometimes you don't ever feel done, but you have to learn to walk away.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was challenged with the book, because if you left it up to me, I'd still be like, can we upload one more edit to Amazon? Like, even when I
don't like that.
Even now when I read it, I'm like, well, I feel differently now, so I want to tweak or I want to change.
I need to add a thank you.
You know what I mean? I didn't think this was right, and you just, but I had to recognize that it was done. And that I am very proud of the product, and that just as much as life is a work in progress, this is a living, breathing thing too.
Right.
It's it's here to help people today, but it is now going to start a chain of other things that I create that are going to come from it. So, but I did have to learn to just say we're finished.
And I think we spoke about this today as we're eating lunch, but like things go in complete full circle of what you're doing and what your purpose is in your creative world. And I feel like this just almost not completed a circle, but added another entity.
It absolutely did, and it wasn't one that, like I said, I expected at this time. But it feels so right. It is so right, and I know, like you said, it's created its own next diagram of another universe that's attached to the one that I already had.
Right, and people need that advice. Like I know you spoke about it today with people on the as you were on the radio show about how people just are afraid sometimes to ask. But so maybe if you're not in front of them, they can read this and they can hey, don't be afraid. Take that first step.
You have to. I mean, and I'm always the first to say, I'm always still very afraid. I was afraid to do this. Then once I was done, I was afraid for anybody to read it. Right. I'm like, each day, somebody's like, oh, I got the book. I'm like, oh, I hope they like it. I hope they like it. We are afraid. Anytime you create something, you're putting literally a part of yourself out there for someone to judge, and you hope that they love it.
And personally, because there is a lot of personal testimony which I actually enjoyed the most, because it took me back to when we were there, or took me back to a story I remember when I first met Africa, and how she was when she was with the girl group, and how we were both trying to do music,
we met at the
working down Fifth Avenue, a different office company, so I really felt like I was, again, part of this journey.
I'm like, that makes me
and of course, and then I got the shout out, and I was like, yes, I've been part of the journey. So but Africa, I'm so proud of you, and the book is amazing, guys. And if you do need to learn how to step up, step out, and shine, then this is the book for you to read. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend and I love her, but because
this friendship is based on truth and reality.
Because I would have told her, oh no, ain't nobody shining through that. But that's just us. Okay. But I want to move to just a quick part of the show where we talk about shoes. Okay.
Yes.
So we kick into your creativity, we kick into your thoughts, and so mine is what is your must-have shoe?
My must-have shoe. You know what's so funny? I'm actually wearing what is.
You can do a shoe. We always do a shoe kick.
Doing a shoe kick. So this has become my must-have shoe, because I've been looking for a good nude shoe, because as a woman of color, it is very hard to find a nude shoe that is brown, or the right shade of brown. And this is I love this shoe because it's suede. It's a nice caramel brown that matches my skin tone. The heel is high enough to give me that lift, but it's not so high that I'm teeter-tottering and my feet hurt.
Louis Vuittons, I can't.
Which I love Louis Vuittons, but I cried the minute I put them on. So I sold my Louis Vuittons on Poshmark, just saying.
Yes.
But these have become they're my favorite. Every time I put them on, I feel confident, I feel sexy, I feel secure.
And they look really nice, and they're affordable.
They're under $100.
Yes.
I got them from Steve Madden, and I can wear them with everything.
Okay, so let me give you my shoe quick. These are Gucci.
Gotcha. Yes. Yes.
Let me put them with my ring.
Come on, because they go together.
Okay. Yes, these are Gucci. They're green and they're suede.
Sorry,
and
I have to say this. My friend's ring deserves a moment every time I'm around her.
Y'all know you've already had it on the podcast, but she's
but we're here together. It just deserves a moment.
So yes, those are some Gucci. I only wear them in the winter, closed toe.
They're beautiful.
You only see them certain times.
They're beautiful.
But okay, so my last question, I always have to read this out loud, because and you kind of already answered it, but what would you tell a young creative who is currently where you were 5 years ago? And I know I always have to read it out, because I'm like, now wait one more time.
So a young creative who was where I was 5 years ago. That's actually perfect. 5 years ago, I was getting ready to film the new Atlanta on Bravo. I thought that it was going to be the big break that was going to make me a superstar.
And it was a good break.
It was a good break. But what was amazing, what I would tell myself back then is trust yourself and that you have the power. I did not think that I had the power then to speak up for myself. I didn't think that I was strong enough, I didn't even know really what I wanted. I just wanted a chance.
Right.
And I didn't even know, if I'm being honest, I didn't even really think then that I was deserving of the chance. I would tell like a creative that was where I was maybe 5 years ago, that's on the brink of a good opportunity, trust yourself, trust your talent, trust your own voice. Because you are there because you deserve it.
Yes.
And I didn't believe I didn't believe that then. Okay.
You are deserving because of this right here. You created your own pathway. You didn't let anybody tell you where you need to be, where you need to go. And this is what came out of it. And so once again, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for joining me on Support Creative Souls. You can find me on Instagram at Support Creative Souls, on Facebook at Creative Souls, on YouTube at
Find
me on social media. In Africa, go ahead and give a social kick to your social media.
You can find me on all social at Africa Miranda. The book is available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, AfricaMiranda.com. If you find me anywhere on social, I have links that will take you to all the things that I have.
And once again, we're here at
Mod Chic Boutique here in Houston.
Please come visit us.
Support. They have beautiful clothing. I'm wearing one of their pieces right now.
Yes.
Amazing, colorful, fashion-forward pieces that are affordable.
Okay, that's it. That's all. Peace.
That's all for Support Creative Souls podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for next time and make sure and follow us on social media at Support Creative Souls.